Oh, hey guys, I'm the Human Studios, and I'm doing a across the street interview with Jim Bonus Beats.
What is good? I'm here today with the Human.
How's it going, man?
Good to meet you here, Human. Thanks for the invite to the studio here. We are at Human Studio, correct? Or what's the name of the studio?
Yeah, it's Human Studio.
Human Studio, yeah. Great little space you got here. We had a short little chance to chop it up before we started. You stay busy in here.
I try to, for sure.
You stay steady busy in here. What have you been up to lately? Any big projects in the works that we should know about? Or
You recently interviewed Word, and I've been recording him for a while. We're wrapping up his project. Honestly, I record a lot of people, so whether it's a big project or a small project, I just record a lot of people, so.
And what is the genres that you generally deal in, Human?
Oh, it's like 90% hip-hop,
90%
actually,
hip-hop?
so
Okay.
I know I look like a rock guy, but...
He's got the cool swaggy shoes on.
Yeah,
Look at
new
that.
rocks, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's all about, you know, the shoes, but I wear this, like, brand of shoes, you know, only certain people know about, but trust me, they're just as expensive.
It's kind of a nice location that you have here. I noticed that you've got a full-service studio here, it looks like, for just about everybody, all the way from instruments. Do you set up drums and stuff in here
So
too,
when I do drums in here, I actually remove the couch, or I move it over here depending on the size of the kit, and then just record the drums in here, turn the speakers off. It's not the ideal situation, but I make it work because, you know, I can do that, and that's actually, like, those are supplies to build some gobos over there so that I can make it a little better when I record the drums, because I built everything here, so.
Oh, this is really
I
nice.
actually built the room itself. It's built like a real studio, just very small scale, so it's sound treated. The walls are done properly with, I don't want to get too technical, but this is not normal walls.
Wow. Did you go to school for engineering, or is this something you just kind of fell into, or?
I have been recording since I was 14 I borrowed a friend's 4-track recorder, and
Like a Tascam?
Yep, it was a Tascam. I borrowed it, and, like, you know, because I was a musician, I was classically trained and, you know, was playing instruments, and then started branching off, and I borrowed this recorder and 4-track, and I, like, fell in love with the ability to be able to do that. And ever since then, I've been, like, making my entire life's focus, you know, recording myself until probably about 15 years ago. I was like, well, this is stupid. I should probably record other people because I have the capability, you know? So I went to 3 terms of college for it, and then realized, and this is something for any engineer out there, you are better off spending the money you would have spent on college on the equipment, because by the time they're finished with their degree, you have the equipment and you have real-world experience. All they have is, they might have some industry, like, you know, connections, because that does happen for schools. It's like the only good thing. And they have theoretical knowledge. They don't have practical knowledge.
Is it fair to say, too, that, like, by the time you graduate, most of the equipment that you're probably working on is probably going outdated then, too, yeah?
Well, all of the schools that I've, you know, seen, because I've got interns and stuff like that, so whenever we talk about technology that they're using, it's all, like, old analog gear. Nobody's teaching how people record nowadays. You know, I've had interns ask me, like, you know, well, what miking techniques do you use? I'm like, you're high. This is not how it works nowadays. Like, unfortunately, you're being taught by someone who is really, really attached to the world that was, and that's just not today. So,
like that nice hiss that you used to get from those Tascam 4-tracks?
Yeah.
Don't you love the hiss?
Yeah, I actually don't love the hiss. I'm one of those weirdos. It's like, no, there's a reason analog is going away.
No one ever really liked it.
Yeah.
You got a nice little studio here. You got some great equipment. You got the machine here. You produce some beats on that, I take it, or is that something you're into?
I use this either on the road or when I want to cripple myself, because I am one of those annoying people who has a tendency to do too much. Gotcha. And, you know, I can classically trained background, so I'm like, oh yeah, this needs an orchestra. Absolutely. Like, we need strings, we need brass, you know, we need all of it.
On separate tracks.
Yep, absolutely. And so I use machines sometimes to limit my palette, because otherwise I just do things that are no longer approachable for clients.
Right. And you grew up during the analog era, it sounds like. So some of this new stuff I've had a hard time transitioning to, but that's
I just adopted it right away.
just get right into it, right?
Yeah, you know, I don't have the money to be, you know, an analog guy. You know what I mean? Like, not even my guitar. I use a Kemper guitar amp, and you know, it's I abandoned even that when I was a steadfast tube amp only kind of guy. So, you know.
Do you still play instruments?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. What instruments are you fluent in?
I am an extremely tight, mediocre guitarist.
Okay.
So I'll play it real clean, real tight, but it's not going to be anything super fancy. And obviously, keyboard, you know.
Keyboard, all right, yeah.
That's my primary instrument nowadays. So.
Nice setup here too. You got the Raven, it looks like. Yeah, the Raven console.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. We have one of our other former guests has the Raven console too. Trying to think who that is right now. It'll come to me. Zachary Mason. Shouts to Zachary Mason. He's got.
Oh, isn't he in Texas?
He's out here in Portland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or Washington, but yeah. Close enough. Yeah. Ooh, look, this is a classic.
I need to organize them.
These rappers get hungry though, huh? And
yeah, I just like honestly, they get sold so fast. I just dump them on there and like you know.
Yeah, they'll buy them anyway.
Yeah, just $1. Like the only thing I charge more than $1 for is protein bars.
As you should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't try and like make profit on things. I just want to make people comfortable and not come out of pocket doing it.
There you go. That's fair. They're here spending some money too. Hey, if you watch the show enough, and speaking of rappers, I do bring everybody a gift. I thought of something kind of original for you today. I brought I got you what I like to call the Stay Focused Whack Rapper 45. So it's loaded.
Nice.
It's loaded.
Okay.
So it's a rubber band gun there, and you can just fire that at anybody you would like to keep them on focus.
All right.
It's a nice little
nice
something or other for the studio here.
I like that because you know, it can make me feel, you know, more authentic when I got those really street dudes in here, you know what I mean? You know.
A little street cred to go with it there.
Exactly. And I actually have a gift for you, and I will transfer it.
Oh, okay.
But it is a kick drum that I have made very specifically for one purpose, and that is to augment 808s. That's all it's for. Oh. It's not to be used on its own. It is purely so that your 808s have more impact. Because when I'm engineering and mixing and I hear, you know, tracks, the 808, a lot of people will rely on an 808 by itself. And it just sounds like trash. It sounds fluffy and muddy. And like getting a good kick that doesn't color the 808, but just gives like punch, that is what I made that kick for. That's it. Yo. It is a utility kick. So that is what I will transfer.
16 velocities still work great with it and all that? Like
you shouldn't use something like that with velocities.
Okay.
It is it should match your 808's volume every hit.
Oh,
so
that's great. Thank you so much.
It's a utility gift.
Yeah.
So because I don't know what to get people. I'm not, you know.
That's perfect. That's like the most thoughtful gift anybody's gotten.
Yeah, because you're a producer as well, and you know, I made that purely so that I could have like something to. Basically, I fix beats with it. When like someone brings me a beat and the kick sucks, that's the kick.
Oh, isn't that torture too?
It is, because like people want like tracks to hit hard, and if like the beat doesn't hit hard, like what can I do?
What's the big rock right here? Energy crystal?
Oh, it's not an energy crystal or anything like that. I'm just, you know, one of those nerds who likes, you know, rocks.
You say he's into like Dungeons and Dragons
and Warhammer and
Warhammer.
I assemble miniatures sometimes like while like it's a heavy recording session, because I am one of those people where I need to keep my hands busy, because if I don't keep my hands busy, like I'll do something stupid like be on Facebook or, you know, something like that. And so if my hands are busy, my mind is able to just kind of like pay attention and focus. So, you know, it's nothing to cut out some plastic and glue it together, you know what I mean? So it keeps my hands busy.
Yeah, the things I do during exports of videos sometimes.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I find myself doing some strange things sometimes. He's a man, he drinks tea. I'm a tea and coffee drinker too. Look, he's even got a nice little setup here for coffee and tea for everybody. This is a nice little studio here, man.
I try
you
to
have
make
a little recording booth too that they work into. You want to give us a little tour of that all?
Yeah.
We'll have to get past the armed security here. I'm going to cut the camera here for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Get past the armed security. We'll be right back with you. No, let us in. No, we're good. We won't steal nothing, I promise. Okay, we're good.
There you go, man.
Bam. Woo, check that out. Look at
and,
that.
You know, like I mentioned earlier, this is all built like a proper setup. So this is a floated room.
Ooh,
So
explain
it's
that a little bit,
completely,
Eamon.
well, it's decoupled from the rest of the structure.
Okay.
So it means that anything that happens in the rest of the studio or home, the sound doesn't get into the booth because it's literally mechanically decoupled from the rest of the structure.
Wow.
And all of the walls are also mechanically destructured from the home as well.
And you did that.
Yeah,
Built that yourself.
correct.
Wow. No schooling involved, just
YouTube University.
YouTube University, my
And
friend.
I called there's some special hardware products you got to get, and I called the manufacturer of them. I was like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you guys like give me some advice? And they were super cool. If anyone else wants to go that route, it's isostore.com, and
Okay.
they are super cool, super nice guys. Just,
They kind of like walked you through like some of the steps.
yeah, and they sent me like PDF manual. Like I think they have them on their site now, but like their products, PDFs and videos, how-tos, and it was 100% necessary for what I was trying to do.
So you went from recording yourself to
And working in a call center.
working in a call center.
ACS, I'm sure tons.
Oh, we all know ACS.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
People usually work there for what, 20 years or 5 minutes?
That's correct. I worked there for 3 years.
3
yeah.
years, all right. So you went from recording yourself. You said I should probably start recording other people, and then you went this limit with you went.
I found that I really love doing it, and part of what I found that I really enjoy is it's not just like getting tracks out. I like to make sure that when someone hears the track, it's either what they imagined it would be or better than they imagined it would be. And I like to try and help people find the emotion of the track. And sometimes that can be hard when it's like a really generic style track, and that's totally okay. But the tracks that really shine are the ones where the artist connects emotionally with the material, and that's what I found. I just love doing that.
You ever just get blown away?
Yeah.
Have you ever had someone just walk in there and you're just like, holy crap?
And they're always the kind of people who's like, I'm not that good. And I just want to punch them. like, shut up. You're literally more talented than I am and than I ever will be. And you're over here not being humble, just being down on, like, get out.
Or not sure about
Yeah.
themselves even. Yeah.
I have a few clients like that. So.
Yeah. It's nice to get them out of the box though. Yeah.
Absolutely. And those are the ones when they hear themselves in a way that they didn't know they could sound. Those are the ones that are really worthwhile. So,
have you had those emotional moments for people where they
Oh.
hear themselves and they're like, "Oh my God, that's me," and they're like, emotional?
probably, one every like month or two. Because
Nice.
that's my specialty. Like some people are really good at certain things, and we talked earlier before the show about quality, and that its style is really what changes everything. So people who have their style brought to life is really the ones who get
Right.
really just emotional about it.
The one question I had for him before we started
yeah.
was just artistically, do you find yourself having to hide some of your artistic talents based on the request of the client?
So yeah, and ultimately, as an audio engineer, I am a service provider, but I am an artistic service provider, and I've finally gotten to a level where I can say no a little bit, but at the same time, as I said earlier, I got kids, man. Like, this is my job. This is how I feed my kids. This is how I pay for the house. So I have to balance, like, when my artistic vision needs to take a sidestep to what the client is ultimately requesting. And of course, budget considerations come into it too.
Sure.
Like, a lot of people come in expecting to get a track done in an hour and want it to sound, like the radio. It's like, I'm sorry, that's not a realistic, expectation unless you come in and you just knock everything out with 0 extra takes. And then, somehow it just happens to be the right alignment of the stars and we can make this
happen.
track happen that quickly. That's so rare. More often than not, if people want that artistic, creative side, you know, you've got to have a little flexibility. I do sometimes have to like quell my own thoughts, but I found ironically that if I don't ask and I just do, it works out really well, because maybe I might be doing something weird at first. It might be kind of like strange, but if I just do it and ask the client, give me a sec, let me see this through, and usually it's a good idea and it works really well, and then the client is even more happy with the product. So, you know, it's a balance, but I do try to be as much of an artist as a service provider.
Human, we ran through about 15 minutes here pretty quick.
Oh, okay.
I know that it's hard to do shout-outs on the spot, of course, but do you want to give any love or special thanks to the city at all for anything?
So, a big thing is I work with so many people, and if I name drop anyone, the people I don't name drop are going to get extremely upset. But I would like to thank the people that, at the very least, recommended me for your show, which would be Word. He called me out, and it would be totally remiss of me not to, you know, acknowledge and thank that. Indo Slim talked to you just last night about me.
Me and Indo had a nice conversation about you. He said he works exclusively with you. Indo performed at the Across the Street concert series just a few nights ago. So
yeah, I know Lord Liz mentioned me, and there are so many other artists, and I could go through a list. There's the Faculty, which is, you know, J-Rock, Blackface.
Blackface 503,
Jokey. I know at least one of them or all of them have talked about me. And this is where me being an airhead, I don't even smoke weed, and I'm an airhead. I'm not going to, like, I'd have to start going through my phone and the list of clients, you know. But I know all of them have talked to you about me, and I'm appreciative to all my clients. But the shout-outs, I'm super not good at that. And what he hasn't talked about yet, this is my first interview. So I'm, you know, I'm going to mess up, you know. So I'm sorry to anyone that I'm not mentioning, but I love and appreciate all of you and enjoy working with you. You know, it's just on the spot, you know, I'm like flying through like a million different names, you know.
All the names floating through your head at the same time. What does it take for someone to work with you? What does it take for someone to come down here and be part of this awesome studio that you got here?
They just have to honestly book a session in advance. I'm usually booked about a week in advance. Okay. I don't vet people. I don't you know, gatekeep or anything like that. There's nothing like that. So if you want to record with me, just hit me up, and, you know, you got to pay a deposit, and then we record and just, you know, be professional and get your work done.
You got a website or links?
Honestly, just my Facebook is the easiest thing, and on Facebook it is I am space the human, like, so as in I and then AM space the human, one word.
I'll add a little link below so everybody.
Yeah, Facebook is annoying. They won't let me be just the human. And that's the easiest way to book with me. You can type in Human Studios on Google, and it'll come up. I've got like a 4.9 stars, you know, and like 40, 50 reviews, something. So, you know, I am very consistent, and, you know, I like working, so.
Well, thank you so much for the invite. Again, this is a very nice studio. I don't see any reason why any of our locals out here shouldn't be participating in your services.
I'm a little on the pricier side for some, but, you know.
You pay for what you get, right?
And that is it. You pay for what you get, and there's a reason. So.
Thanks again for your time, my friend.
Absolutely.
If there's anything I can do for the future, you let me know. Otherwise, I'm sure you got some work to do, right?
Today's actually my dad's birthday, so
happy birthday.
Is you know, I'm gonna be doing something with family. So.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and until then, cheers, friend.
Cool.